welcome to the post-game show here on IslandStacks.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin. I have with me Punchy Dale and Maceo Dale as co-hosts. Um, Gentlemen, we just witnessed the Bermuda team draw 0-0 with French Guiana. Punchy, let's start with you. Give us your thoughts on the 90 minutes of football.
Well, I always, I guess I say when at the beginning, I say this would be a little bit of patience. But I think it was kind of it's the beginning of his term, and I thought that we looked a little bit out of sorts of it. We looked a bit out of sorts, and you could see that he hasn't had much time to work on what he missed, and it at times. When I counted, like, there was in the first half, I think we had one clear shot on goal, right? And you always seen right away we would think about, okay, team looks like it's cohesive, it's not there. There was a lot of players look a little bit jaded after a while. I think I'm kind of glad that we came up to draw, really. But again, it's a start. It is a start.
Maceo, what's your thoughts?
I was a bit surprised about how we started. For one, we started when we looked at the number of holding midfielders that we had. We started with two holding midfielders, and the team didn't seem comfortable that there's two holding midfielders can get the ball. Because the key to winning would have been, can I get King Critchlow on the ball? Can I get Zico Luz on the ball in the last third? Can I get Jai Pitt on the ball in the last third? We saw that we couldn't do that. So you saw Zico Luz coming deep for the ball. So I was a bit surprised how we started, but I can accept the cautiousness. But after 20 minutes, you can figure out that team. French Guiana wasn't really quality. They wasn't really quality. They had a bit of physical with them, but they didn't have a little bit of quality. We started handling them 1v1. So if you take Daniel Cook, had to probably deal with their best player. After a while, he dealt with their best player. He learned to deal with their best player. Harry Twight, the young, we could deal with a one-on-one. So now it comes to, I've got Arsenal on the bench. I've got 7 players on the bench that can actually win this game. 7 players on the bench. You had the Rodney Connaughton on the bench that's been at West Ham. You had the Jai Tucker on the bench that spent time at Man City. During the time Pep was there, also Burnley in Premier League clubs. And we didn't take the opportunity to block them in. There was a period in the game where we became more dominant in the game. And maybe about 15 minutes where it's like, oh, we can win this. What controlled ourselves defensively. And there was opportunities to bring certain people into the game to see what we could do. And we just didn't do that. So overall, if I reflect outside of the tactic, outside of winning, it's a good start. Overall, we didn't lose. We get to see certain things, but I don't think anybody's going away from it happy. I think the fans are not going away from this happy. The players are not going away from this happy. The coaching staff's not going away from this happy. And this is the crucial piece because it only takes one game to lose players. We talked about the patience. That's not what athletes have. Yeah, that's not what athletes have in when they win it. When they win it, they don't have the patience with it. They want it now. So it was interesting. Even okay, we're going for experience and we bring Reggie Lamb in the team and you don't start him. Like it's so many things to me that didn't jive, that make sense but what it did show that they don't know the players just yet. That was evident. They don't know the triggers but even once you read the game, there's some things you could do once you read the game after 20 minutes.
Punchy, we have French Guiana player over. You want to go and have a chat with him?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And even adding to the technical piece of it, I realized that if you look what you realize, right, is that none of the defenses were good on the ball. And we didn't choose to high press. We didn't just change with the group that was on there to say, okay, let's press them high. Now that we can handle ourselves one-on-one, let's press them high to see if we can win the ball in the last third. And from that perspective. So it was a whole lot of different pieces that I can
Punchy,
see.
we're gonna go to Punchy. We're gonna go to Punchy. Hold on a sec, Punchy.
Actually, your team's fighting spirit.
All right, Punchy.
Yes.
You're live.
You're
You're
live.
live. Yeah.
Yes. Congratulations on your draw today. You know, again, what were your expectations when you came in? Did you know much more about us, for Bermuda?
Bermuda, I'm happy for my team because my team play good today. I'm happy for 1 point today, but I'm not happy because my striker no score today. Alright?
Good point. Because I am going to say that too. At certain times, I counted, I've written down the amount of opportunities that you have created for the tall striker.
Yeah.
I don't want to pick on it, but I thought, well, yeah, this should have been. If they were on target, we would have probably been in trouble here. We would have been in trouble. But overall, your team, I read a lot about your team. What else when you in this draw, right? What else are you? Who do you play next? Who's your next opponent?
I play from Guiana with Betis.
Oh, okay.
With Betis. Betis is a good team. Betis and Bermuda and Saint Vincent is a good team. Today my team play good. I don't know Tuesday if my team play good again.
Right.
I have opportunity today for score. I don't score. I have a good defender today. I'm happy for the youth boy because I have youth boy in my team. He's a new youth boy in my team. I don't have experience because the only boy I have experience is me. And my team is a youth boy today. The first for seven player today. I'm happy for the youth boy.
What was your coach saying to you guys? What was
My
your
coach,
plan?
my coach happy for the team because I come to Bermuda because Bermuda is a favorite for him. The favorite of the group is Bermuda because I say Bermuda have a good player. And today I come to Bermuda. I have 0-0 because Bermuda is positive for my team for my team. It's positive for my team.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, okay. I want to congratulate you on it. I want to congratulate you on your goal. Our expectations were like, okay, what do you really like? But I'm glad for you. And I wish you the best in your next game.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Because I have my grandson plays for the national team also.
Okay.
Yeah. So number 22 you came in. But again,
Okay.
good luck to you guys.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
man. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you.
There you had Punchy Deal with French Guiana player. The French Guiana coach is now joining. We'll wait till he's set up. But Maceo, back to the points of the match. I mean, there will be a lot to take away from this, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. This is. I mean, you just don't want to lose your first match, right? As a coach, you don't want to lose your first match. You want to be able to size out different things, and they did that. I mean, you have to give them that they didn't lose the match, so they would have had to be cautious from a coaching standpoint when they saw that they were stabilizing the game and controlling the game a little bit.
All right, Punchy, we're gonna come to you now, Punchy.
So
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on your goal. I'm sure you're pretty happy with the result. Do you think? What do you think about the game? What do you think? Do you think you should have come up with a result?
I'm very happy for the result. Yes, yes or not, because I see if my team play better, it's possible I have a 3 point prudence. But this afternoon I see one good team Bermuda play well as well. Now I think is nil is good for the 2 teams.
I heard you have a good bit of young players in your team. It's a rebuilding process for your team. Um, Again, this draw goes you out. But let me ask you another question. When you came in, what was your thought? What did you have planned? What was your plan in playing against Bermuda?
You see, the young player is my team because I have one difficulty because I have a lot of players playing in France. I have 8 players playing in France. It's not come today. When we see a young player play today because I have this afternoon my defense is 4 new players. Players all the players play in the French Guiana. French Guiana, the championships is an amateur championship, not professional. French Guiana. My defense with my player play in France. It's not coming, but I'm happy for this.
The surface seems to off surface out here today. It seems like you got some pretty good ball handlers for your team. You know, what did you think about the surface playing? Was did you kind of like the surface out here? Because it looked at times that I had counted times when we put together a good bit of passes. But I still think that, like you said, your team is young. So what do you think about the Bermuda team? What was your impression of
the Bermuda team?
Yes,
I think his Bermuda team is a good team because he play well. Bermuda play well today. Not it's a good team. When I said I'm not no happy because I know my team play with a good team today. Bermuda is a good team. It's normal. 0-0 is normal.
Okay, great. And your next game is Belize.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
So French Guiana.
French Guiana. And I think you will be expected to win that game in terms of win the games because I think in terms of results that I've read about you,
Okay.
I think you should be believed. But I'm very happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With Bermuda, we're going through a transition also in the coach. But and you were saying also that a lot of your players play in France, just like the Bermuda. A lot of younger players out here, they all playing in England and Europe. So again, congratulations to you. That'll be. I hope they'll meet you at the airport.
Thank you. And sorry for my English.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you. All right.
And there you had a punchy deal with the French Guiana coach. We're going to be joined by Maceo Dill and the Bermuda national coach, Finley. They'll be momentarily. But before we join them, Punchy, just quickly, what were some of the things you take away from speaking with the French Guiana coach?
Well, first of all, what was really a surprise to me, I didn't realize the amount of players. He hasn't had spent a lot of time with his players now, and he also told me the amount of players that are playing in France.
Yeah.
So it's a young team, and he thought that he respectful of I did gather from that talk of him, but he's very happy with the results.
Right.
And what it is that what I just in that conversation with him about organization, his new what we're going through now. And he did know about some of the players that play in England.
Sure.
About saying that other players that play in England, just like what's happening with this team.
Right.
But overall, he was happy with the result.
Sure. Well, actually, let's go hear from the national coach of Bermuda, who's with Maceo Dill. So,
Yes, welcome. It's your first game. Let's just first go into your preparation to this game and what that looked like to get to this point. How did that go for you? Because I know you didn't have a lot of time to get there.
Yeah. No, it was challenging. I mean, you can candy coat it, but it was really challenging. But that's fine. I mean, that's the reality of international football. Quite often, is you don't get very much time with the players. It was extra difficult for us because we have a new staff. I just joined the group, so we had to do a lot of assessment, a lot of evaluation very quickly, and we had to do a lot of introduction to the way we wish to play, the attitudes we wish to have, the intent we want to have, and so I thought it went well given those challenges.
So then, let's fast forward to the game. What are your takeaways from the game based on, I mean, a 0-0 result? It's a good start. We didn't lose, but what are your takeaways from the game, and where are we going in building on that?
Yeah, and you said we didn't lose. It's funny because I think in my mind I go, we didn't win. And the reality is we want results. We're going to demand results. That's why we're here. But yeah, I'm pleased with the application. I'm pleased with the players' thought process and the stuff we did bring to their attention during the week. It's a changing mindset that we're working towards. And the fact that we started this Nations League round with a point against what I think is a very strong, footballing nation in French Guiana, I have to say that I'm relatively pleased with that, and we can build on that. But I also am disappointed we didn't win it.
So tactically, you look at the game after say 20 minutes. I think we could all see that we were capable of handling ourselves on 1v1. If I speak to Harry Twight, capable of handling himself, and some very bad finishing by French Guiana. Then I speak to Daniel, he handled himself with the winger. There became an opportunity to maybe high press and win the ball up higher.
Yeah.
That now takes a coaching decision. What do you say to those type of analysts, to be able to get these type of results across the line?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, one of our goals is to have a much higher field occupation in the team, and we're going to have to work at that because we're coming off a period of time where I think the team was sitting on their back foot a lot of the times, and we were squishing the two lines as a team in the previous regime. Now we want ourselves to be higher up the pitch. We want to be engaging at higher up the pitch. I don't think we met exactly the goals that we set today in terms of where we were going to confront them and engage them, and we need to work on that. And again, that's a mindset. But you mentioned them handling themselves. I was incredible. And you've got to remember, Harry Twight and Daniel and a number of them. We've got 17, 18, 19-year-old boys in this team, which I think have really, really bright futures and have shown that they're capable of playing in this zone against very difficult opposition. That French Guiana team, they're in a transition period themselves, but they're a very physical team, very strong. They protect the ball very well. So it was a very good test for our players on a 1v1 basis.
There were moments in the game where I felt we gained control, we stabilized the game. Maybe talk about 50 minutes into the game, and on the bench you had the likes of Najai Tucker that's been at Man City. He's also been at Burnley. Randy that's been at West Ham. What was your thinking about maybe using them a little bit earlier in the game, or potentially kind of taking a risk? Because you could see it was a little, it was cautious, and it needs to be cautious so we don't lose the game. But what's your thinking about them?
The thinking is that they're going to participate. They're going to play a role for sure. And Remy did. He came on in the last couple of minutes. You can't really judge him on that type of time. But someone like Ujah is going to be part of this program, is going to be part of this team. And what we're trying to do is get a real balance to our lineups at this moment in time. You can see him playing a much bigger role, say in St. Vincent Grenadines, for example. But we rolled our substitutes today in a way that we thought they were going to bring fresh legs to it. Luke, put in a lot of work in the first half, and you can see he was starting to labor on the physical side of it. And bringing someone like Reggie in, the experience we had planned, that we wanted to have someone to drop into that pocket and be able to maybe dictate play and come and get it, because they started to move into a lower block, because I think they were a little bit concerned of our ability to go by them and cut through them. So that was kind of why we did it. But everybody in that room, I think, understands that we're in a process right now, and that they are going to be given a chance to either prove me right or prove me wrong.
Well, it's been great interactive. If you look forward to what comes next.
Absolutely. All the best. Thanks very much. Sure.
Good meeting you.
Good meeting you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see you again, I hope.
Yeah.
For sure.
There you have
Sure. Thanks, gang. Take care
national
now.
coach giving his sharing his thoughts on today's performance by the Bermuda national team, and also talking about the transition that French Guiana find themselves in as well. But onward to Tuesday's match. Bermuda will be next in action. They depart the island tomorrow. Um, I think one of the most important things for the Bermuda team is to come back with at least 4 points in the group, if not 2 points. They cannot. You cannot.
We play who on Tuesday in Dominico?
I will be able to tell you in. I can't remember. I don't want to say the wrong team. That's
Okay.
why. That's why. But they literally, you cannot fall behind in the group. I mean, it's this break, and
Right.
then it's a few break. You're off for um, a couple of weeks, and then you're back in it. So it's important that you don't fall behind. You're chasing it. You're trying to play catch up, and that's the most important thing to ensure. Come Tuesday night, we will be playing.
St. Benjamin and St. Vincent.
Tuesday, here we are. This is group. This is the wrong group. This is group A. And group B. Tuesday, we play St. Vincent and Grenadines in St. Vincent. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So let's see. Have they played? They just beat Belize 2-1
Okay.
today.
Mhm.
So it's important. It's going to be important that and come Tuesday night, uh, Belize play French Guiana.
Belize play French Guiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be important that we,
And for clarity, Carl mentioned it earlier that he sees us in the Group B. If there is a possibility that there could be a promotion to Group
Yes,
A
Group A,
and versus a relegation
yes,
to Group C
yes.
within this thing. So
And
this
that's
is going
why
to
I say
play.
it's important.
It's important.
It's important that we don't chase
Yeah.
the points. Stay ahead of the
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just for the fact that I mean, like Mason said, after 20 minutes,
Mhm.
now that I've seen it, and now with the Grenadines, I just think that we've got to be able to come out of this group. Mason, you did say something about Reggie Lamb, which I wanted to add to. His experience, I don't know why he didn't start, but his experience showed tremendously. His calmness,
Calmness,
his
saddle the ball.
Saddle the ball. Yeah.
Saddle the ball, and that's the thing for me when I looked at his selection. Like he would have figured out the game. He would have figured out the game, but say, okay, this is not, and provided the saddle passes for it. So you saw when he came on how he was able to advance the ball and create opportunities. I mean, he had opportunities himself, so we could dominate it a little bit more. So I mean, it was interesting to ask the coach about the ability to possess the ball farther up the field.
Right. Yes.
But that also now deals with the selection of who you pick with the mindset of it.
Yeah.
So if you got Milan Butterfield and Roger Lee in there, the mindset is to who?
Yeah.
The mindset, and they're not, the two of them really don't have the killer pass to push the ball up, and that's why Reggie Lamb started coming deeper. That's why uh, 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 Zico came deeper to get to the ball. So I think we missed a trick. We missed a trick to win the game.
Yes.
We did. We have to be honest about that. I think we missed a trick to win the game.
The coach, the impression I get from the coach and the player is that they're very surprised that they even came up with a point.
Yeah.
It's like the jubilant. But the point is that we missed that.
We missed the trick.
Yeah.
We missed the trick to win the game.
Okay. The other thing was there was also when I saw I want to ask you a question about this. For the first 15 minutes, all from coming out the back were straight down the middle. So he pushed everybody up. Right. So what was that plan? I couldn't figure out the plan about that because that means Eve took the ball, he pushed everybody up on the halfway line. So we weren't even winning the second ball. Right. And right, so when it took so long for us to start playing, keeping possession, and I thought that Reggie Lamb. Now that I see Reggie Lamb, maybe I would start with him, and then if it's once we got a little bit into the game and he kept because his experience just showed.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
mean,
just don't understand. I just find that
yeah,
that strategy, and we're not really big people. We're not fighters like. So I thought maybe that particular strategy wasn't working.
yeah, we could
It
get
wasn't working at all. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't working at all because I always thought that particular style of football is you have to crowd the midfield, win the second ball, right? And
and
they did, and it wasn't done.
a lot of things were complicated. If you looked at the rather than just at the at the beginning, I was saying, okay, we're playing three at the back
Right.
and we're getting pushing the wings. But what when we was defending with four at the back, like a flat back forward.
Right.
So what we was trying to ask those fullbacks in
Jones
Jones
and
and
Cook.
Cook to be the wide outlets. And so we could keep players in the middle and cloud the middle so we don't get counter attack. But that was a lot to ask of those guys, especially when Cook had to deal with that winger. That was a lot to ask of him to be
Yeah.
up and down the field. So it seemed a little confusing. And even I'm watching, we was trying to attack through those fullbacks and bring our wingers in the inside.
Inside, right.
And I'm like, we're not got a player that can make that pass for there.
It
So
was,
some things don't look like it's gelling
Yeah.
together. But again, to be fair, I mean, you take the time to do that. But it was some things that were blatantly obvious that could change and to make a difference in the game and personnel. The game was there to win. For
oh,
sure.
okay. The last thing I want to ask you about this, Dante.
Mhm.
I don't think he had a very something. Right in my 1 to 10, I think he had a 5 or 4. Right.
Harry
One
Dwight
of the
was covering
times,
him. Harry Dwight was
saved him.
saved him.
First
Dwight
of all,
was
he's not aware
17-year-old
of
was saving
yeah.
him.
He doesn't command. First of all, his passing range. He gives the ball. He panics. His movement. He doesn't direct players. He doesn't show composure when he should,
Mhm. Well, I
which I
think
think
I
his
think I think
right.
that comes that should the lack of football playing.
Playing. He's not
Right.
playing football
Right.
about a year,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Could be a year.
Yeah.
if you haven't been doing something for quite some time, muscle memory might tell you you could do it, but then
Yes.
it has to be a repetition thing. You know what I mean? He spent a lot of time coaching now.
Coaching, yeah.
So he's not doing a lot of the heading of the ball,
The
drilling the ball,
reputation. You
the
can't get,
passing
yeah.
of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's doing a lot of more instructing of that. So um, I you could take he would have struggled with this passes.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was clear to see. I think what should have happened was either Roger or Milan should have come back closer to him to get the ball off of him a lot more. But they didn't. They allowed him to and French Guiana dropped off, knowing that the passes were going straight. They allowed him to
They
pass
just
the
win the
ball.
ball in the middle
Yeah.
third
Yeah.
and try to pick us off.
Yeah.
And try to pick us off. Yeah. Yeah. But
So
but yeah, I mean the bright spots coming away from the game, I would think Dwight, that was a bright spot. Harry,
mhm.
that's he's got to get better on the ball.
Yeah.
But Harry, the
Harry.
17-year Harry, he's
The
got to get
taller,
better.
the taller center
Okay.
half.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
he's got to get better on the ball.
Mhm.
But that will come with time
But that
and
comes
age.
with time. The defensive piece that he did, the defensive piece
Mhm.
there was a stellar job. Defensive
Okay.
piece. If I'm got a criticism and is listening to Howie, sometimes he needs to recognize danger a little quicker because sometimes they was getting inside of him
Yes.
and he was recovering on the second one.
Yes.
A better player,
Mhm.
you're not recovering on the second
No.
one.
No.
You're not recovering on the
I
second
could
A
go
one.
through
better and a deadlier player.
Deadly
Yeah,
player,
you're not
yeah.
recovering on the second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
They
You
look apprehensive at times until Reggie, like coming when they start to decide, okay, now we're gonna start Luzico start coming inside.
Mhm.
Then when Reggie came on, before that happened, there was like players that looked to me like players were hiding. They looked tentative. They looked like they weren't sure what to do.
You know what?
Even when you give the
Mhm.
thing about it, when you start already a new coach comes, you give them a system they want to play.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna push the wing back side. We're gonna play in her, come inside. You come and get the ball, Seeker. We'll play the ball back. Then the ball goes on to the wing back out there. But
Right.
you can see it's still a problem there.
Mhm.
And I think again, when I keep saying that philosophy of football, that philosophy of trying to win the ball in the second, in the middle third, you know,
Mhm.
I think it's gonna pose a problem against better teams.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a problem against better teams. Um, the left fullback. What do you think about him?
I think I think early in the game he struggled with the pace of dealing with him, and
Right.
he didn't get any help. I mean,
Right.
the
That's
simple
what he
thing, the
could.
simple thing was, can I get somebody in front of this guy?
Right.
And the number 17 out there that was the most lively player couldn't receive the ball so easy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But towards it, he figured it out. He started to match him.
Mhm.
In the second half, he started to match him. He was, but you know, he was able to match him, but he needed help in the first half. In the first half, he did need help, and like I said, with battle finishing and battle decision making on French guard, they
Mm.
could have been
They
up
could-
2 or
Thank
3,
you.
Right.
and
Yeah.
it could have came from on that side. So if you see what he did in the second half, he didn't venture forward
Right.
as he was doing in the
In
first half.
Yeah. Yeah.
He stayed there and concentrated on the defensive jaw,
Mm.
and that's where they got better at it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, again, Bermuda will take on St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tuesday.
Interesting.
I guess we'll be able to watch it on CONCACAF. But until then, until the next home game, which will be the 22nd of September, and the ladies will be in action. I can't remember. Oh, they played Dominican Republic.
Here.
At the Philadelphia Southfield Stadium at the National Sports Center. And that match, we will be doing a pregame show and a postgame show with that as well. All right,
Okay.
folks, enjoy your night.
Yeah.